Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
August 20, 2020, the Screening for Whistleblowers edition. And we'll start with that story from the UK Mirror. And you just can't make this stuff up. The chief executive of British Airways told managers to screen for potential whistleblowers and hiring them after a whistleblower raised safety concerns about BA planes. The CEO, Alex Cruz, was stupid enough to send this in an email after a BA employee raised concerns about passengers being put in danger. Not only did BA unmask the whistleblower and fire the whistleblower, at least through constructive discharge, but now they don't want to even have whistleblowers in their organization. Literally, in this day and age, it's unbelievable that a CEO would come out and be so inane as to say something like that and put that in an email. That speaks exactly to the type of culture you don't want to have in an organization. And if BA has any trouble, including the wrongful termination suit of the whistleblowing employee, I'm sure that email will be prominently displayed. So BA's in for a very long road to hoe when you have the CEO saying things like that. And a little bit better news from the Wall Street Journal, Airbnb files with the SEC for an IPO. Airbnb said it had filed confidential paperwork with the SEC for an initial public offering, making a surprising turnaround for a company whose business was allegedly ravaged by the coronavirus pandemic. The home-sharing giant said the number of shares and price range for the proposed offering have yet to be determined. It's also going to be very interesting to see what is in this document around Airbnb's compliance program, because they were perceived to have one of the top ones around. So kudos to Airbnb for making money during the pandemic. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, a very troubling story that one of the effects of the new national security laws that China has imposed on Hong Kong is extending into territory all the way to American college campuses. Classes at some universities will carry a warning label this fall that this course may cover material considered politically sensitive by China, and schools are weighing measures to try to shield students and faculties from prosecution by Chinese authorities. At Princeton, students in a Chinese political class will use codes instead of names to protect their identities. At Amherst, a professor is considering anonymous online chats so students can speak freely. So I don't know if that means you can't talk about Chiang Kai-shek. I don't know if that means you can only praise the Communist Party. I don't know if that means you can't talk about the Cultural Revolution. I don't know if that means you can't talk about the Great Leap Forward. But pretty serious when China tries to draw all the way into American universities. And finally, Ron Meyer, longtime NBC Universal executive, is out after a nearly 10-year-old consensual affair came to light. This affair occurred while he was married, and NBC Universal, when they found out about it and the payments, said it was antithetical to their values. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.